That's a trend that I hope isn't coming back. Is the weight gain and weight loss as method acting?
Nope, I want it.
That annoys me.
Kill yourself.
Like,
you want me to like your movie? Kill yourself.
This is my incredible acting is just. I remember. I think it's for. What was that one that Christian Bale did with the Silver Linings?
The Machinist. The Machinist.
No, he's fat.
George W. Bush.
The Cheney one. I know it's not the Cheney one, but he did get fat for that one.
I would like to see that actually.
He's really good in that. That's a good one.
He's like in a. It's like
he's really good in everything.
I think. Is it called like American Gold or something?
Yes, I think so. That sounds familiar.
Anyway, and he said that they offered him a fat suit, and he was like, "No, that's not real acting."
He was like, "Don't worry, I got this," and he just broke out a bunch of pudding.
And then melted ice cream.
Oh my god!
Microwave ice cream, and then just drink ice cream.
That's also how Ryan Gosling gained a bunch of weight by drinking ice cream, and then he showed up, and they did not want him to gain weight for the role, and they fired him.
What movie was that?
Lovely Bones.
Oh.
I think he was supposed to play to play like a single father,
and he's supposed to be the dad.
Yeah, he was supposed to be the dad, and so he was like, well, I'm supposed to be a single father. I'm supposed to be like a little older, so he like put on a bunch of weight, and then he showed up, and they were like, "What? Get out of here!" They just fired him for putting on all the weight, and then they hired Mark Wahlberg.
That story is sad.
He had to go lose all the ice cream drinking weight. He probably got it from Christian Bale. He probably read that thing about Christian Bale and was like, I'm going to do that.
And then he came to Detroit and yelled at black guys.
Oh, no.
He did do that, though.
Who hasn't?
That's true.
Don't you say bad things about Andy's new best friend?
Oh, no, not about Robert. I was talking about Ryan Gosling.
Oh.
When he was there filming that movie.
Don't you say anything about my future best friend?
I mean, he's on my man crush list, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'd let him yell at me.
He's got like that beautiful like pretty boy face, and then
he's
that
got
weird,
Eva Mendes as a wife.
He's got that like voice that's like
didn't
just
know that
a little bit too high for his face.
And he's got Eva Mendes as a wife.
Ooh, I'm getting hot.
Eva Mendes.
Ryan Gosling.
I believe in love, baby. You really wanna stay with me. You wanna believe in love, baby. You really wanna stay with me. Do you believe in love, baby? You really wanna stay with me. I believe in love, baby. You really wanna stay with me. All my life, darling, I've been thinking about a woman.
So this is Some Kind of Sound, a podcast where we listen to one-hit wonders. Every week we listen to one album by a different one-hit wonder artist or group, and we analyze it, we talk about it, and we also talk about a lot of other stuff. My name is Robert.
I'm that guy from Jonestown that killed everybody with the Kool-Aid.
Oh, no.
I knew it.
Something Jones? Jim Jones?
It was with the Flavor Aid. Knockoff Kool-Aid.
I was in Guyana or whatever.
Yeah,
It's probably
yeah.
hard to get Kool-Aid.
I think it's what they sell at military bases or something, or they did at the time.
Anyway, Jim Jones?
So that's I think that's how he got it.
Okay.
It was because
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it's what you could get there.
Anyway, I'm son of Sam.
Oh no.
I'm Charles Manson then.
Oh man. Happy Halloween.
Boy, you're not going to have a good time today.
I don't know. I get to meet the amazing singing artist Charles Manson.
Now we've already
I wish he was on the list.
No, I know. Hopefully he won't be.
I can check right now.
Yeah, no, he doesn't qualify.
The Beach Boys stole all his hits.
Yes.
Was it the Beach Boys
well, the
or
one-
Rolling Stone? Ooh.
Yeah, no,
Beach
it's
Boys.
the Beach Boys. He claims stole a song of theirs. It doesn't really sound very similar, and
He was friends with one of the other Wilsons who wasn't. Brian
yeah,
Wilson.
yeah, one of the brothers. Are there multiple brothers, or is there just one brother?
I think there's 3.
Oh, okay, and then
And then a cousin. Mike Loves is also related.
Guns N' Roses also did something. They covered a song, or they made an album that's like, I think it's a full album that is covers, and it's named after something Charles Manson.
It's the one with
did
Axl
or
Rose
something
dropping
like that,
N-bombs.
yeah. Could
Nah,
be,
that's a different song.
could be, could be on that album.
Does not appear. And this may surprise you.
You telling me it wasn't
any
a hit?
of his songs.
Oh, none of them.
charted.
None of them charted.
May surprise you.
Squiggy Frome didn't get in enough radio requests to get it on the Hot 100.
Well, that couldn't. It wasn't a single, as far as I can tell. Whatever you just said.
No, she's one of the Manson family people.
Oh.
She didn't call into the radio enough to get the.
You clearly know a lot more about the Manson family than
I
do.
do.
Are you sure you're not Charles Manson?
Squeaky Frome? Squeaky, not Squiggy.
Yes, that sounds familiar.
Oh, that's the redhead.
That
Right?
sounds familiar.
Yeah.
From Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That movie where at the end I was rooting for the Manson family.
Uh-oh.
They're
I was-
clearly the sympathetic characters.
I was rooting
Yeah,
for the dog.
yeah, that guy makes some messed up movies.
I thought the dog was going to die. I was worried. I was like, please don't let this
Drugged
dog
up.
die.
Yes, the dog is also innocent. I don't blame the dog.
Yeah, can't have the dog die that late in the movie.
So you got a couple of confused teenagers who break into a house to kill some rich people, and then a guy who goes, "Oh boy, I get to murder people with my dog." Whose side am I supposed to be on?
Well, when
there?
you put it that way,
Clearly, the movie wanted me to be on Brad Pitt's side, but Brad Pitt was acting like a psychopath. So
no, he was just on acid.
well, so were the kids, and they weren't acting like psychopaths.
They were racist though. I think mostly, maybe
I think that. Well, I don't know.
maybe some of them.
Charles Manson seems to have become like a neo-Nazi in his old age. I don't know. No, he was definitely talking about a race war.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wanted
Seemed
to
like
start
he
the
was-
race war. Yeah, that was supposed to start the race war, right?
Seemed like
Well, it was something like he thought
I don't
it was
know.
going to happen, and then when it didn't happen, he was like, "We got to make it happen,"
how is white people killing white people going to start a race war?
because
They were
they
gonna
were
blame
trying to
it.
blame it on
Yeah.
black people, and then the Manson family was going to disappear into the desert while the race war happened, and then they were going to come back after it was all over, and they were going to be the only white people.
Solid
and,
plan.
And they thought that everyone would be like, "Oh man, thank God there's white people here." We're like, "We thought we killed all of you.
Wait. So
It's a good thing you're back."
their plan was to kill white people.
Yes.
Trigger a race war.
Yes.
They're all white people.
Yes.
But they wanted to start a race war in which they thought black
Yes.
people were going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But then they would come back and they'd be the only white
Yeah.
people, and they'd be like treated really well.
Yeah, 'cause they figured
they'd be like, "Oh, we're really sorry about what we did to all the other white people. Why don't we're gonna like give you like some mansions and stuff.
This
We're gonna give all you smelly hippies some mansions."
doesn't sound like a well thought out plan.
Yep. Yeah, no, just like appearing all dusty from the desert, like, "Hey guys," with, they all probably had syphilis and fleas, and they're just like, "Hey, we're back.
But those two
We're here to be in charge." Yeah, they knew how to ride the horses. They sure knew how to run that old man's ranch when they stole it.
Bruce Stern.
Yep.
I don't know what his name was in the movie.
I don't know. I forget.
Roman Polanski.
No.
That old man with the ranch, Roman Polanski.
Yep.
Another hero of mine.
What?
I mean,
I'm calling the police.
is he back in the U.S. yet?
I think he
He
came
was
back.
supposed to.
Yeah,
I think he was supposed to come back.
I think we talked about this.
Did we? Okay.
You can't prove that.
I don't care either way. I'll cut it either way. I don't care.
You can't prove that. We talked about that. He's back. It's a callback.
Look who's back. Back again.
Polanski's back.
Lansky's back.
Warn those kids.
Rape again.
Anyway, this week's artist, the Kings of Leon.
The Kings of Sierra Leone.
The Kings of Leon.
Mm-hmm.
The song "Use Somebody" from the album "Only by the Night."
Is that the name of the album? I did not know that.
Jimmy John's Fly By Night.
That was a cool
sub.
name.
It's
Only
Kings of
by Night?
Leon, the Jimmy John's Fly By Night sub album.
What?
They have a sub. I'm pretty sure it's called the Fly By Night.
Isn't that a Rush song?
It is.
Well, I don't get the joke.
I don't know. Is Jimmy John's from Canada?
Sounds like they would be. That's probably why I don't like them.
Yeah.
No, I think.
You know, I've never actually had
Say
Jimmy
Chicago?
John's, but I hate them.
Chicago. I know it was a college town. Because it started on a college campus.
There was a guy
Kings of
named
Leon.
Jimmy and a guy named John.
Say, like,
Kings of Leon,
Steve Chicago.
Fly By Night, Rush, cover, sandwich.
I don't understand what the joke is here. It doesn't make any sense.
I want a sandwich. And let's listen to Rush.
I think this is 2 episodes, at least 2 episodes now that have started with, can we get this over with because I'm hungry? Maybe noon is a bad time to...
Only by the Night. That's a cool title.
I actually forgot.
And
By
it
the
explains so much.
I mean, it's a cool album, too.
I actually forgot to wear my... I have the tour shirt from...
What?
From this
Oh, and you were
tour.
going to wear it just for the recording?
And,
Just for
Oh, yeah.
just for James and I to
and,
see?
blind you guys with my... with
Can you
my-
explain to
my
me-
deep cut V that doesn't fit anymore because it's from
Oh.
12 years ago?
Can you explain to me what the album cover is? I've been trying to figure this out since 2007, and I don't know what it is. It looks like a vulture.
Wow.
Is that a bird? Some sort of bird? Oh, it's a
Talking
bird.
about- What?
The album cover.
What? The album cover is just like it's like white with some red in it.
It is, but there's images within that. There's a bird. That's clearly a bird right there.
Oh. I've never looked at it that closely. I just thought it was like...
I think that's a
I
turkey.
just thought it was like a Rorschach test. Oh, yeah, I do see it. Yeah, it's
vultures?
Like, yeah, it looks like a vulture. It looks like it's just the same image.
Yeah, it's a bunch of
That's what it
vultures.
looks like.
Reversed, like flipped. How do I zoom? I don't know how to zoom in on this. My touchscreen doesn't work. I can't swipe.
That's a question I've been asking myself since 2007 about the album cover.
It's weird because I was actually a big fan of this album and I never even thought. Yeah, but
I had never listened to this album before this week, but I had heard the
but the shirt I have is pretty sweet.
singles.
It's got a pirate on it.
A pirate?
Yar.
The shirt that I have probably should have been the album cover. It's way cooler than this, whatever this
Huh.
is. But also, you guys wouldn't have been highly offended because it definitely doesn't fit me anymore.
Oh, yeah. That's also why I stopped wearing deep V's.
Had a weird. They have a like alternate UK cover
Oh.
where it's sections of all their face, but there's also a bird in there. There's some bird's eyes
They're huge fans of vultures.
and like a
all right.
beak.
Oh, there it
All
is.
the proceeds of this album went to bird conservation.
I didn't bring it with me, so you guys will have to see
Oh
this
yeah,
picture
I remember that shirt.
this shirt that
I remember seeing you in that shirt.
It's got a pirate. Yeah. So
What an album!
Kings of Leon, I want to say Kentucky band.
Yes.
Although they traveled.
With their religious day.
Oh no, not
they-
Kentucky. I'm
Was
so
it
sorry.
Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. I could get those two mixed up. Whatever.
I get everything in the South mixed up. I just group it all together. It's one big Florida for me. Everything's just
Florida's like the one that I would separate from it.
I'm just gonna bleep this when I edit it, but I get them all mixed up. You know, cousin fucker country.
Oh no. Oh boy.
That's I just think of it all as. But they traveled a lot.
their religious
they have a pretty
dad.
interesting story actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their dad was a traveling
Preacher?
like tent revival preacher,
Yeah.
basically.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So three of them,
Like in
three of them are brothers, and I think it's
And
the
a cousin.
drummer.
Yeah, and a cousin.
I believe the drummer is a cousin.
I saw that. That was about all I saw. I saw that. I saw where they were from. They started in '99.
Their dad's middle name is Leon.
Yeah.
Oh,
I did not
it's
know
crazy that they started in '99, and then that was
Yeah,
like
that
their
was
first
weird.
hit, 2008.
So they grew up pretty strictly religious, obviously.
that. Which is weird because this is
They were
This is
not,
sex.
They were
That
not
one is-
allowed, they were not allowed to listen to rock music or any kind of pop music growing up. So one thing that I don't know where all that came from because
from their parents' divorce. Once their parents got divorced, they were like,
yeah.
All the rock
They're
music
they're
we
like,
want,
sex, rock and roll.
So they started to,
guys. I just got all this Nirvana. Let's listen to it.
so they start this band, and I believe their first album, which I definitely know the name of.
Obviously, you don't.
Many times.
He's not a fan, y'all.
Uh-oh.
He's not a real fan.
He fake.
Phony.
Youth and Young Manhood. It's
Ah.
called.
Does it sound anything like this?
No. They
Not
were,
at all.
They were critically acclaimed for a long time before. I believe that album came out in 2003, so they had a good 5 years before they had anything they ever got on the radio.
Huh.
But originally,
They're like that one band. Who sings that? Hey Soul Sister, Drops of Jupiter.
oh
Didn't they come out earlier, but then like didn't get famous until later?
yeah, they took them like 10 years. Drops of Jupiter came out, and then they except the Drops of Jupiter was a big hit. On the radio. They had a hit and then they just disappeared. Anyway, it's garage rock basically. They were pretty critically acclaimed when their first few albums came out, and they were often described as the Southern Strokes.
Huh. That
Which also
seems
is
like
just
that should be a
I don't see
page
that at all.
on.
just a
Yeah,
hilarious,
yeah, that should be a page on Urban Dictionary.
yeah.
Get her to give you a Southern stroke.
But that's pretty much what they sounded like on their first album. And then their next two albums like that, just pretty much a continual progression towards with this album.
Then they start doing
sort of
drugs.
like arena alt rock kind of stuff.
Mm.
And it was just sort of like shades of that. Their next two.
I had just graduated when this album came out, and I remember
So
I was like,
around-
"Oh, what is this? This new music I've discovered."
And
So like everyone had already heard it.
And I discovered them I think somewhere around 2006
Were your affairs?
in a
All right,
I'm not older than you, James.
I know.
In a Volkswagen commercial, actually. It's the song Molly's Chambers, which is on their first album. Also, Molly's Chambers is a vagina. That's what that.
Oh, sounds like a torture.
Well, bring that up to
Chambers,
I'm
so it
only-
must be.
I'm only bringing that up to.
It sounds like one of those medieval
out
torture
that-
devices. Put them in Molly's chamber.
Even by the time their first album came out, they had lost the religious constraints. Obviously,
Tossed it to the side.
everything was just about fucking and drugs.
Mhm.
One of the
Well,
songs
that's
on the-
rock and roll.
That's when all the girls at fairs were just like,
One of the songs on the first album is called "Try Me." They have a song called Tranny on their first album.
They have a song called 17 on here.
Yeah. Yeah, that started. I was like, Sharona? She's back?
Because I also thought, I was like, him and that one guy would get along.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So,
Oh, actually, I wrote that down. So it starts out with she's only 17, and I wrote down my first thought. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, no. Don't do that.
Yeah, so
Better be on a UK tour.
three pretty critically acclaimed albums, but no
Three?
no
Oh.
radio singles at all. Yeah,
Yeah, they had something else that made it to 99 on the Hot 100.
Before?
Whew. No, after.
okay.
It was like just a few years after they had a single that only made it to 99. Just barely cracked it.
Oh yeah, they are pretty much. Well, I would call them. See, they fit our criteria, but I think they probably has two because I think Sex on Fire was pretty close to as big of a hit. Maybe it didn't endure as long.
I
Yeah.
also expected.
Yeah, and it technically it didn't climb as high in the charts, so
It's because
so they count.
Everyone was lonely when You Somebody came out, and everyone was like, I can relate to this.
So yeah,
It's a good song.
2008. This album came out. Follows as for like for me it actually
2008.
follows a pretty similar trajectory as the Black Keys. In that they had like 3 to 4 albums that were like really critically acclaimed but never had any hits. And then it was actually the same year, 2008.
And then it took HBO to get them.
Their own stand-up
suddenly they just
special.
like blew up. And also, the Black Keys I knew about before they were famous because of a Victoria's Secret commercial.
Oh, here you go with it. I knew them before they blew up.
I
I saw Radiohead with
three
three
people. No, I was just a nerd who would like hear music in commercials and be like, I gotta go research this commercial.
This is kind of off topic. Not really though. You just reminded me of something. When Good Charlotte came out, did you guys have that same group of people who were like, I liked them before they blew up? And I remember hearing them. I was like, they just came out. How did you? I was like, what do you mean you liked them before they blew up?
I did not know
I was
anyone
like
that
13 when
said
they
they
blew
liked them
up.
before they blew
See,
up.
yeah, that's what I was like. I remember like when they came out, like all the people around me were like, yeah, I used to like them before they actually started playing music. What? What do you mean?
I liked them when they were selected by before they were selected by the media moguls to put this album together.
Yeah, no. But also, I grew up in like a cultural wasteland. There was nobody listened to any good music. It was pretty much
Same.
up until 10th grade. I didn't really know anybody that didn't listen to. It was either just radio pop or like classic rock, like dad music.
I was listening to all screamo music, and I thought I was hardcore.
Until like 10th grade, it was actually I can tie this back around. It was when, and I can talk about this because they did not qualify for the list, so I'm not wasting a story for another episode here. But when I discovered the Black Keys,
We get it. You discovered them. I discovered
Yes,
One
You
Republic.
signed them.
I discovered them after.
I discovered
You
One
went
Republic.
down
You
to
don't see me.
Ohio.
I discovered them after 4 albums. Nobody had ever heard of them.
I discovered One Republic. I was like their first fan. I told you that story, right?
Yeah, you can-
I was like their first fan.
I'm cutting this out. Only I get to be cool in this, okay? No. Anyway, I wasn't saying that to brag. What I'm saying is that when I found them, they were on this really small record label that only put out 80-year-old black bluesmen from rural Mississippi, and then the Black Keys. That was their entire roster. And I started listening to like everything that was on there. And I got really into the blues, and then I couldn't talk to anybody about music for like 3 years because I was a nerd.
My uncle was in I forget the name of the band. He's a prominent known blues musician. Like they did a documentary on him and everything. It was on PBS. And like what was weird, I like never knew like I always like heard about him playing, but I didn't know like he was actually like a prominent blues player. And I believe the Black Keys might have said something about him.
Oh man,
I have to look it up. I don't know the name of his band though.
time to get him on the show.
He's dead.
Oh.
He was really old. He was so old that a lady at his funeral spoke about him telling stories of picking cotton. And I remember at the funeral, I was like, how old was he?
Yeah,
like
what?
sitting there,
That
I was
doesn't
like-
make sense.
I was like, what?
What was his name?
Jesse Lee.
It does sound like an old blues guy name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. I was like, you gotta play a guitar with that name.
I got no choice.
I have no choice but to pick up this guitar and play it until the day I
He
die.
played the harmonica, too.
Oh.
Was like, how do you go about learning to play the harmonica?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird instrument to
Just blow into it.
pick up and to learn. It just seems like an odd choice to where you're like that's the instrument for me.
Anyway, so 2008.
When I discovered One Republic.
Signed them their first big contract.
So 2008, their fourth album comes out. Only by the Night. I believe Sex on Fire was the first single off that.
Was weird because I didn't hear that till long after You Somebody. I was like, wait, these are the same people?
Yeah, I can't. I remember Sex on Fire first, but I probably listened to this album before it got big on the radio because I was already listening to them at the time. So I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Sex on Fire was first, which was a relatively big hit, and then You Somebody came out, and then they like really blew up. They went from like the State Theater, like a 3,000 seat place, to I saw them for the first time at the Palace, I think.
R.I.P. Palace.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Tore it down.
Yeah.
What was the other one that we had? Was it Silver
I was
Dome?
driving by on the freeway the day
that's
that they were
the
that they were supposed to demolish it, like around the time that it was supposed to be demolished, and so I just was like, "Oh man, can I see it from here? Can you still see it from here?" But there's too many trees. Can't see it from the freeway. Or it might just be way too far away. I don't know. I'm not that familiar with Pontiac.
The Palace?
Yeah. Or Auburn Hills, I mean.
You could see the Palace.
But yeah, by the time they demolished it, you could not, the trees had like overgrown and you couldn't.
I'm always wondering why.
Well, of course you can't see it if it's demolished.
No, it was before it was demolished. But like this year, it being demolished earlier this year, there were just like trees had overgrown next to the freeway where like you couldn't see it anymore. And then they collapsed it.
Yeah, they sort of turned into like this, like, arena rock thing, which worked out because they started playing arenas. Would have been weird to do like a U2 arena rock album and then it bombs.
You're just playing bars.
You got to play them at the Lager House.
This album made me think about something because I remember people back when they first came out, people would be like, yeah, they sold out. They used to make good music, but they sold out. And I was thinking, I was like, to be a band, I was like, it must suck to like be in the band and like to actually make money. You have to like, well, I gotta make these poppy songs. Like we want to actually like support my family, but then people are just like, boo, go back to making the music no one likes.
Yeah. That's so weird about
I want to be a lonely fan.
it's so weird about selling out that like that era. It doesn't exist anymore, number one. There's no band where people are like they've sold out. No recent band. Like it just is like it's all expected now, I think. They've pre-sold out. But then also it's only music where people are like they've sold out. There's never like when an actor starts doing commercials for stuff or like Shaq has like his name on 85 products. Nobody's like, Shaq has sold out. They're just like, yep, Shaquille O'Neal, he's a great guy.
He's coming up.
Yeah. They're like, I love that LeBron sells Sprite.
Definitely.
Not a sellout move.
Definitely sport. Well, sports. I think sports can't really be in that category because it's not like an artistic expression.
Yeah, I guess.
Actors, I could kind of see that. It just doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
Orson
Nobody was upset that.
Orson Welles is kind of selling out doing fake champagne commercials. I mean,
I was just gonna say nobody was upset that
Robert Pattinson sold out.
Bruce Willis went to Japan and filmed commercials for stuff, or Nicolas Cage goes over there and just films commercials for things.
I don't think it's possible for Nick Cage to
Sell out
because
harder.
He does everything.
He needs everything he does. He
people
is
ask him
to,
to do.
yeah. Well, he's
So
gotta pay those back taxes.
I'm looking up these pictures of Kings of Leon. Or whatever.
Leo.
I've never seen a group of white men that look like they shouldn't be hanging out together. Like, I know they're related, but man, they do not look like they need to be hanging out together. They all look like, oh, look at this. They look like different genres of white men.
Okay.
That like definitely that shouldn't be
Can
hanging.
you describe all four genres of white men, please?
All right, this one is like H&M. He's like a Mumford and Sons country music. This guy back here, he's like Black Keys white. And then this guy over here, he's like what was that one band?
See, I was thinking that guy is the Black Keys white
Yeah,
guy.
it was either like one of them or definitely a
They're
Black
both-
Keys.
Those are just the guys from Black Keys.
I was thinking that. I was like,
They
is
broke
that the
off
Black
and they
Keys?
they just broke off and they like, we're gonna go be our different band now, guys. See ya.
That guy should not be there. Definitely. Look at that jawline.
You just think the one man is too handsome to be in a
Yes.
band.
The one all the
And
way.
then that guy back there.
The one all the way on the left's the cousin. He's the only one that's not a brother.
None
Oh,
of
it's
those
three
guys
brothers.
look related.
Jared, I believe he's Jared. So wait, from left to right, it's Jared, Matthew, Caleb. I don't know what the bass player's name is.
Oh,
No
poor
one ever
bass
knows
player.
the bass player
Rick.
unless it's Pete Wentz.
We'll just say all bass players are Rick.
What about Pete?
I keep
All right,
forgetting
except-
that he's a bass player.
Except Pete and Flea.
Oh,
and
and
by
Flea.
forgetting, I mean I didn't
And-
know that until you told me that. last week.
And the guy from Rush. But he's also a singer, so that's like maybe that's why people know his name. He's allowed to play bass.
You mean Rick Lee?
Yep, Rick Lee.
Rick?
Ricky Lee. Wait, is that a person?
It sounds like a person.
Ricky Lee sounds like it's a person.
Yeah, I'm convinced they don't hang out outside of making music. They don't hang out with each other. There's no way.
Okay. Look up an old picture of him.
1999.
Like a 2003 picture of him.
Like 1991. All right, here he is. Here's his second grade school picture.
Caleb had long hair. They all had long hair.
Oh God, this is what they look like in 2003. Jesus. Now they look like they belong together.
There we go.
Yeah, they used to look like Leonard Skinner.
Yep. They really do. That picture does not look like it's from 2003. That looks like it's from 1973.
And then one figured out was like, man, I think I'm handsome.
Well, your dad's like a
this hair.
traveling preacher, so all the clothes probably were from 1973.
Like in True Detective, the one tent preacher. That was the first time I ever seen that. Like I didn't know like preachers go like set up tents. I was like, come listen to me lie to you.
Matthew, the guitarist, when I saw them, he had he's since lost quite a bit of weight, but he was like a heavy smoker, and he was kind of heavy when I saw him, and he had I don't know what the heavy has to do with this at all, but I assume he quit smoking, which helped him lose weight. That's why, but he like smoked a lot, and he had like a brandish, like a lighter, just like a hot poker lighter on his microphone stand. Just there, so like he could just like in the middle of songs, he could just like grab one and just like go like that and light it. His mouth
Weird.
Keep playing. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool.
It's an odd accessory, but I'm sure it looks cool.
Well, you gotta can't stop the music.
No, I guess. I mean, you got two hands.
Whoa, your gonorrhea's on fire.
Oh no.
This sex is on fire.
The lead singer.
With gonorrhea.
The lead singer. I've always thought this for a long time. I like his voice, but I can't help but like whenever he's singing, I'm like, man, it sounds like you're just like killing your vocal cords. I mean, but he's not.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah,
I was like, man, his voice is so like. I was like, does it hurt you to sing like that?
Yeah, he is and it's pretty interesting because it's pretty high, but it's still like really scratchy. It sounds like it's almost like high and guttural at the same time. So
He somehow mastered screaming and singing at the same time.
Good skill to have for rock.
So yeah, all right, you got discussion questions, James,
Oh, about the tracks. Let's go through the tracks.
or anything about
Yeah.
anything. You usually have discussion questions.
Oh,
You want to go through?
I am
first?
introducing a new. I don't know if you want me to bring it up yet. I'm introducing a new segment called
All right.
"Lyrics That Made Me Go."
Jimmy's Corner. Introducing our new segment, Jimmy's Corner.
So
Jimmy's
on
ponderous
lyrics that made
lyrics.
me go, because I usually I'll just listen to the album throughout the week, and then on Sunday I read along with the lyrics. So the first lyric was that 17 song when it started off, and it was like, "Oh, she's only 17." But originally I was like, "Oh, this is just a song about a girl." For some reason I was like, "This is about a girl growing up with her older brothers." And then it kept going, and I was like,
Nope.
"Oh no,
Oh no.
I was like,
oh no, these brothers are
I
doing
was
horrible
like,
things.
He's
Hope they're not brothers.
Why not both?
But then the one that stood out the
Tennessee.
most, this lyric on which was my favorite track on this album, the I Want You, which I added to my library. Oh, such a good song. But this, I'm not sure if you noticed this. I almost brought this up on the way here. This lyric, I don't even know what it's about, but it's so random. It's like homeboy so proud he finally got the video proof. The night vision shows she was only ducking the truth. It's heavy, I know. The black guy with the gift down below. A choke and a gag. She spit up and came back for more. And I was like, what the heck just happened in this song?
Is this about the Paris Hilton sex tape?
Yeah, I was like, is this-
While we're on that song, I also want to point out, I was going to wait for when you do like a favorite lyrics thing, that this isn't a full lyric, just a favorite one made up word that this man did. That this happens a lot in music where words just kind of get mashed together, and you look up the lyrics, or you can even tell just listening to it what words he's supposed to be saying, but he's just kind of like crammed things together into one hodgepodge word, and he's got in this one the words just exactly become
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's a good one.
Juzakly. Exactly.
Yeah. That's a
Did
good
you
one.
have a favorite
It's a
track?
good.
Do I have a favorite track
Mhm.
or lyric? I don't. I don't do lyrics, James. My favorite track is probably. See, I hate to keep going back to this. I because I listened to them so much before this album came out. I'm kind of have like a different angle that I'm coming at this at. I think my favorite one is probably the first track. Is probably Closer, because I think it's kind of the most effective like culmination of what I think they were doing for these first four albums. I think it's probably the best version of that, what they were trying to do. It's the best, like, it's got that really like kind of like arena sound, but it's still got like that heavy bass line and really cool like alt rock sound.
I had a thought while listening to this,
And also
I was
his voice
like,
sounds really cool.
I was like, man, you have to be wearing leather and smoking cigarettes at all times to listen to the album, except for Manhattan, which is like my second favorite track on here. Manhattan, for some reason, I was like, I need on a pea coat and I need a coffee. And I told Cliff about this, but that's why I was late that one day. I was listening to the song and I was like, I need a coffee right now. So I went and got a coffee, and I was like, I need a pea coat. I was like, I need a pea coat.
I gotta go home and find a coat. I'm wearing the wrong coat.
Oh, Rob, I don't own a pea coat. You're just like James. Where
I'm not gonna be in until after the store's open.
He's like,
I had to go buy one.
He's like, James, where are you? He's like, I don't know what a pea coat. Like, what does that even mean? Like, I can't get one until Amazon. I can't come.
I've ordered this on Amazon. It's good. 2-day shipping.
I can't come in until Amazon delivers my pea coat. Sorry.
The post office swears it'll be here in 2 days.
And that track,
Okay, so you said 17 is your favorite one?
No. I Want You.
I Want
my
You.
favorite one. And then Manhattan is my second favorite one.
Rob?
Oh. Man, I think I'm just going with You Somebody.
Oh, man.
It's really good. But a close second is Closer.
Yeah. Closer.
Closer is really good.
Closer,
Crawl is really
Crawl,
good. It's
I Want You. Those
I
are
didn't-
in my top
I
3.
didn't really like Closer.
Yeah, I also
Crawl.
did really like I Want You. It's all a really good
The
album.
white and the views.
When at the start of the week though, it just was like I was not in the mood for this album. I just wanted something like lighter, and so it was kind of hard to listen to on Monday morning. But then, like, I don't know, I gave it a day and came back to it. And
Another thought that I had that this whole album, I was like, if I had like one word comes to mind while listening to this album, one night stands. For some reason, this song, like any song on this album,
Cliff said they travel a lot.
I think that was, I mean, yeah, I think that's a recurring theme.
Yeah.
On their, across all 4 of their first 4 albums.
I
I also keep saying first 4 album because honestly, their one after this was shit, and I've really never listened to them again after that.
had a interesting thing that happened. So like when I first listened to this, Reverie was my least favorite track. But like listening to it this morning, I was like listening to it and like reading along with the lyrics. Well, before I even read the lyrics, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, why does this track resonate with me? So then I started reading along with it, and I was like, where's that lyric at? If I wrote it down, I might not have wrote it down. But anyway, so he got to a lyric in the song, and I was like, that sounds like something I would do. And I was like, wait a minute, what does reverie mean? So I looked it up, and it was like lively and noisy festivities, especially these that involve drinking a large amount of alcohol. And I was like, all right. I was like, it's on my list.
Large amount of alcohol. I'm in.
I was like, sounds like me.
The song's about me.
Because like pretty much in the song, he's describing. I'm not sure if you looked at the lyrics. He's describing about like being in love with a girl, and even though he's in love with her, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go drink though. And I was like, oh.
Looks like the opposite of You Somebody.
Mm-hmm. And also for that song Be Somebody, when I got to that track, I was just like, cocaine. That was the note I had. I was like, when they wrote this song, I was like, cocaine.
Least favorite track?
Do I have one? Oh yeah, I do. It's between Cold Desert or I think it'd probably be Cold Desert, because I mean it's not a bad song, but it reminded me of waking up hungover in Las Vegas, which is a horrible feeling, and you don't even have to be.
It's a cold desert at
Yep.
night anyway.
You don't even have to be hungover. My note, my note says, "Cold Desert reminds me of waking up hungover in Vegas. One of the worst feelings ever. Not even because of the hangover. Waking up in Vegas is a terrible feeling."
Rob?
I don't know. Nothing really stood out. Like none of them are like horrible songs.
Mm.
So it's hard to pick a worst one.
Any of the songs remind you of Girls from Fair State?
See,
Maybe like
I didn't know that chick, James. We were there at different times.
I don't know.
Cold Desert's probably my second least.
I was gonna say like Cold Desert. Maybe like I'm having trouble remembering the song "Be Somebody" what one that one was right now.
The heavy
So
drums.
That one is kind of like
so maybe that one.
It's not like an Afrobeat, but it's one of those ones where it's like not like guitar heavy. It's a lot more like rhythm heavy.
It's also
It reminded me
possible
of a
though that
Imagine
like
Dragons song.
could also just be there like
It's
at
just
the
like
end
all
of the
drums.
album, and so by the time you get to them, I'm just kind of like tired of listening. It's hard to tell. I'd have to go back and check.
Because my least favorite is "Use Somebody" by.
Oh.
And that's not even to say that it's a bad song, which says something about this album. Well, says something about how I feel about this album, I guess. Actually,
Yeah.
I usually skip that one, but it's not even a bad song. I mean, this is good all the way through. Cold Desert, I think it starts off pretty strong, but it kind of loses the thread
Yeah.
by the end of it. But yeah, it's pretty much one of those rare ones you can definitely listen to all the way through.
Did I ever send you the
Just like Michelle
yeah.
Branch.
Did I ever send you guys that the skit that one girl did when it was like movies when the high school jock meets the nerdy girl and he's like in that library and she's like, "What? You never heard of Kings of Leon?" They like start bonding. She probably went to Ferris.
Yeah, so something you just said a minute ago, and I brought up in the car earlier, but that I wanted to talk about. It does remind me, and I never thought about this before until I was listening to this week. It does remind me of. We'll wait.
Labatt Blue. It reminds you of Labatt
This is a
Blue.
really bad time. This is a really bad time because you need to be on the mic for this specifically.
I'm back.
That was just the worst timing.
I thought it was a good timing. I knew I'd be back in time to react to the end of the story, and I wasn't going far enough that I wouldn't hear it.
I mean, if I was a professional, I could have just dragged it out slightly longer. But I wanted to point out instead. I wanted to halt the whole thing to point out. You walked away from the mic. It does remind me of Imagine Dragons. It is not something that I ever really thought about before. Not specifically Imagine Dragons, but I definitely think that this album was influential on a certain style of like pop radio,
I was
pop
wondering,
radio rock. I think is the best way to describe it.
One thing I
So
noticed,
it's stuff that's sort of like kind of guitarish sound.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like guitar music, but is stuff that's like crossover and can play on like this isn't gonna mean anything to people if you're not in the Detroit area, but it sounds like something that could kind of play on 89X, but also could play on 96.3. And I think this album was probably pretty influential on that kind of like sort of light alt rock to pop crossover kind of music for several years after it came out.
the only difference I noticed that you can tell like which instruments has been playing. Where like Imagine Dragons and like stuff like Maroon 5, I'm like, who is playing what? I don't know what the sound is, but I had that same thought with this when I was wondering like the first track, was it Closer? When there's like some sound, I'm like, what is that sound? And like it wasn't a bad sound, but I always wonder like, is it the producer that comes up with it? Those type of like weird sounds for like.
I can tell you for a fact because I saw them when
He
this
was
album
there when it
came
was
out.
recorded.
It's all guitar.
I was with the Black Keys and is it?
It's all guitar.
I was hanging out with the Black Keys, and the Kings of Leon called them up, and they said, "Listen to this new guitar riff." They played it through the phone.
With my good friends, the Follow-Wills.
I don't even know what that band is.
Oh, this is their last name.
That's the Kings of
Oh, okay.
That's their last name.
I was like, man, I'm so out of it. I don't even know who that
There's
band is.
Well,
I've not even heard of this
I'm sure I do.
of this late 2000s.
So
I'm
one
sure
thing I
do
noticed.
Rock
actually listen
band.
to a lot of bands that you've never heard.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
Anyway, so but I know you I'm sorry to out you here, but I know you're a fan of Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
You ever Imagine Dragons?
I do.
Do you ever just sit and imagine dragons?
I do. And while I'm imagining dragons, I'm not imagining Kings of Leon because I didn't catch any of that in this. I didn't catch any similarities. Sorry.
I mean, he did more than me. Like, I didn't really. Only thing I noticed is it's like a.
What I had
I
in
can
this
tell
was
the-
like, I guess it's almost similar, but what I had in this was that they went, and I mentioned Nirvana, but actually Foo Fighters was that they went, what if we were the Foo Fighters but more accessible? And that's what I thought they did.
I don't hear that at all.
Alrighty.
No, I would say like Imagine Dragons, One Republic. Who else?
Because this just
Actually,
doesn't have any of the, like, Imagine Dragons. I don't
Yeah.
know that any of them play instruments. I think it's
Yeah,
all
like,
just
I can
just
see,
weird extra electronic stuff. So I don't see. That's why I don't see the connection.
only
Because
thing
this
I-
is like actual instruments.
The only connection I see is I can see how they got to, like, if someone was like, all right, and then Kings of Leon came out, and this is how we got to, like, music sounding like this.
Yeah, but the sound and the sound and the rhythm is all like alt rock soundscape stuff. And I think that, it's not even that the Kings of Leon pioneered that, but like in 2008 when this came out, they like completely changed their sound to that kind of thing, where it's like kind of alt rock trappings, kind of sounds like U2 or something like that. But it's a lot more accessible and sounds a lot more like something that you could hear on a pop station.
And you could play it to any HBO sex scene.
Or at least some of the songs. Some of the songs are still like not.
Okay, see, I don't think you can play any Imagine Dragons song to
not
any
yet.
to
Well,
any
not
HBO
yet.
sex scene.
Yeah,
so
that you definitely couldn't.
so
But mainly because it's mostly live instruments. But I can see how, like, if you were listening to this, you're like, and now I'm gonna listen to Imagine Dragons. But like they don't sound similar to me. But I can I can just see if someone was like, I'm listening to this, and then I'm gonna go to Imagine Dragons.
Okay, well, you guys are wrong. It's fine.
Yeah.
So,
Maroon 5. No.
no.
What? You don't like Maroon 5?
They did the same kind of thing, but they're not. They don't sound anything.
I was so confused. That whole era of music when everything was computerized, I was so confused. I was like, what's the point of a band? I don't like. There's like everything's computers. Everyone became Daft Punk.
yeah, see, now that would be one. That would be more where I would see. That's where I think Imagine Dragons came from. I think they came from the opposite
But
direction.
they don't sound anything
No,
like that.
no, but I think they came from the opposite direction of
Yeah.
how do we take electronica and make it accessible? I don't think they started from rock. I think they started from electronica and went, how do we make electronica rock?
But they
Instead
were,
of how do we...
There were people that played instruments initially.
Oh, were there? See, I don't know anything about the band.
For
As
Daft
much
Punk.
as
I mean, like songs you know, they're like early stuff that they've started getting popular with. There's guitar in those songs.
Yeah, they have
They
guitar
had
mixed
people-
in there.
There were people in that band.
I just assume that those are studio guys.
For Daft Punk.
No, for Imagine Dragons.
Anyway, what I was gonna say was, do you remember what was the last album that you listened to all the way through before this podcast? Because I was gonna say, doing this podcast is like taught me to like maybe I should listen to the whole album before I just listen to this one thing and be like in trash. This random story that Cliff just reminded me of in Iceland. We all got ready to go out, but like Cliff was like, "I'm gonna stay here." So like, I knew I had to use the bathroom before we left, but I was like, "We're not gonna be out that long." And I had I'm like drinking while we were out there, and I was like,
Uh-oh.
and I had to pee. But then like I held it so long that pee turned into something else, and I was like, "Uh-oh." So we're walking. It's like, I gotta get back.
Wait, what did the P turn into?
Turned into
Having to
solid gold.
Having to take a.
I'm
poop.
rich, baby.
Turned into a UTI?
Having to take a poop, and then I remember we,
You know, when the pee transmutes into poop
I have never.
and it passes
never-
I've
through the
never
bladder
held a
into
piss
your.
So long that it turned to poop. I
You
don't
know how
what
it.
was-
You know how it passes.
It doesn't make any sense.
How it
never-
transitions
It is
out of
not-
your bladder and into your colon and
You
becomes
not-
a
No,
poop.
that's not what I meant.
Works.
It becomes a
no,
poop.
that's not what I meant. You're like, you never just held it so long, and
But
you
those
like,
are two.
no,
Those
no,
are
I
two
get that.
completely
You know what I'm saying?
unrelated things.
No,
This is the weirdest story.
no, I get that. I'm just saying, you never. And my only person's like, well, I'm like, man, I gotta pee, but I'm gonna hold it, and then you hold it so long, you're like, well, now I just gotta poop.
No.
What? The only person.
It doesn't
Those
make
are
any
separate
sense. Those are completely
bodily
separate things.
functions, though.
Well, anyway, had to pee when we left, and then we're walking around.
Then
the
it turned
city.
into poop.
We're walking around the
Continue.
city, Iceland, and we're getting back closer, and I knew I was like, man, I gotta pee. But then somewhere along the line, like it went from I gotta pee, and I was like, I gotta poop now. And we're getting back closer, and then Junior was like, let's stop by this gas station, and I was like, no. So like we walk in the gas station, and I'm trying to pretend like I'm normal, and I was like, I can't do this no more. I ran out the gas station and I called Cliff. And as I was running to the Airbnb, I was like, please come to the door. And then as he let me in, I ran upstairs. He's playing some song. And I remember thinking, I was like, that's a good song. I was like, well, I can't find what song that was. But it was horrible.
And it turns out it was Kings of Leon, or
No. It was
this is unrelated. This is unrelated to Kings
It was
of
Def
Leon.
Cab for Cutie.
This is unrelated to Kings of Leon. I just had to tell this story.
So,
Never happened
tell us again about the physical reaction that turns your pee into poop.
No, it doesn't turn your pee into poop. I'm just saying you hold it so long and then you're just like, well, now I just gotta poop.
I already said it moves from the bladder to the colon. Didn't you pay attention in health class?
Yeah, I can't believe it. I thought that was like a normal thing for everyone. Apparently, it's not. When you just hold it so long, you're just like, oh, it's coming out the other end now.
It doesn't do
What?
that. It doesn't do that.
I understand what you're saying, but you
But yeah, the way you're phrasing it is odd.
When I-
Way that sounds
As soon
like
as,
you're saying
as soon as I said it, I was like, hey, that doesn't,
No.
that doesn't matter.
You had to pee, and then also you had to poop.
But not at first,
Two
though. I didn't know I had
unrelated
to at
things.
first.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was two unrelated things. It was like, I really needed some water, but I didn't get the water, and then eventually I needed water, and also I was hungry. I
Yeah.
was so thirsty that I needed pizza.
Yeah. You're like, oh my God, I'm so thirsty. I just need this pepperoni. I just need pepperoni and cheese. Maybe a slice of cake
Anyway,
for the thirst.
We're going back to Iceland.
Anyway,
we're going to do
so
the podcast from Iceland. And we're going to listen to all #1 Reykjavik artists. They don't have artists there, do they?
Sure.
one guy that you keep talking about.
Oh, Kaleo? You like Kaleo, right?
Yeah, I do.
I don't actually know
They
if
got-
he likes Kaleo. I just
they
grouped
got,
him in with me.
I do like Kaleo. I just like giving you shit for some reason.
They got Bjork.
You got Björk. Oh, of Monsters and Men. They're from Iceland.
Oh,
Also
well, all right. See, there you go. The radio is full of hits from those
Three people.
acts, and that's all.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's reminded me.
Because you're only allowed to listen to music from your own country.
Is Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros on the list? They had that one hit and they disappeared.
There's no way in hell they had a top 10 hit on
Yeah.
it.
And maybe was it not? It might not have been top 10.
I'll check it.
But I only remember because Rob like randomly brought it up, and as a joke, I was like, "Oh, you talking about this band?" And he's like, "I actually am talking about that band."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh,
Well, if Rob's heard of it,
Heard the song.
I think that's like their only hit."
Right.
And there's only 10. Is like 10 people in
I'm
the
trying
band.
to
so.
insult you, Rob.
Oh.
Damn it.
Now that's a band that I would say is like Imagine Dragons.
What?
Yeah, this one.
What?
Yeah. This 10-person.
You guys are horrible. at
Weird
comparing
folk
bands
band.
to other bands.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not saying they're comparable. I'm just saying I can see how that would happen.
James can see how everything can happen.
Except for when I gotta pee and then it
That's-
just.
As a black man, I think it's a black man thing where you can see how everything can lead to anything else.
You gotta
You're
weigh
like-
all options. You're like, I gotta.
You're like, well, looking through the past at how we got to here, I can see how we can get to anything. Yep.
They are not.
Oh. Is Cleo down there?
Where are they from? Are they from Reykjavik?
There's
Are they from
15
Reykjavik?
There's like 15 of them. Someone's bound to be from Reykjavik in that
What I
band.
was asking. What? Oh.
There's 15 band members. So
Oh my god!
someone's
So one
bound
of
to
them
be
has to be from Reykjavik. Are they actually from Iceland?
Nah,
I'm just hoping that that's the thing that you just
the girl in the
tacked
song
on.
is like an actress. I forget what actress it is, but she's like been in like shows like Law and Order and stuff.
Oh. Like I'm hoping that it's just a thing where it's like they are also from Tennessee.
What's this white stuff falling from the sky?
Oh my
Cocaine.
I'll be back.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
I gotta go shovel around snow.
Anyway, back to our actual topic this week. Ted Bundy.
Kings of Sierra Leone.
Kings of Sierra Leone.
Anyway, so
Hotel Rwanda.
who's gonna keep listening to this one? Are you gonna keep?
Yeah.
You guys.
Well, half of
Nah.
this album was
you already
already
know my answer.
half of this album was already on my phone and I didn't even notice.
You have a lot of music on your phone that you
Yeah.
don't know about.
I don't even know how that happened.
So yeah,
Somehow you have every artist that we're going to listen to.
you guys already know my answer, James.
I will listen to "I Want You" over and over. It's on my gym list, my gym playlist now.
So you didn't learn anything about listening to albums. Good.
No, I did. I listen to them and I dispose of them.
I still mostly don't listen to full albums a whole lot, but I will be adding more Kings of Leon into my rotation. Maybe make like a Kings of Leon radio station or
If
something
you-
on
if you
Pandora or
liked-
some such.
Here's a semi-recurring segment we can do on here. This because I already knew this band and I've listened to like all their albums. If you liked anything on this album, I would definitely at least say to check out their third album, the one before this, Because of the Times. Definitely pretty close. Like sort of like almost. If this was your first exposure, you could think of Because of the Times almost like a rough cut, like a first draft of this album.
Okay.
If you had to, I have
Only
one
by the
question.
Night. So
If you had to describe a mood or a scene for this whole album, what would that like scene be? Mine was HBO sex scenes.
A 1 hour motel.
Oh, that would actually. Oh,
It's
all right,
it's a 1 hour motel
Yeah.
no, a
on the side of the highway.
a
It's late at night.
Mm-hmm.
white guy in a suit on like 10th floor balcony of a hotel in like a major, like a high end part of like a major city, like
He's
part of New York.
he's
or, like,
pretty, but somehow
on
lonely
the
at the same
Strip in
time.
Las Vegas, exactly, and just staring down from his balcony
I
and
can see that.
being real sad.
Just-
Even though he's pretty and rich.
It's just that Nick Cage movie where he went to Vegas to kill himself.
Ready for your next pick, guys?
Let's find out what it is.
Randomize. Number 77 is it's one I just added to the list.
Nice.
Pete Townshend of The Who's solo hit, Let My Love Open the Door.
Pete who?
Oh, all right.
Pete who?
Pete Townsend of The Who.
Oh.
You know, I'm sure you know this.
Yeah, I know the
It's
song.
one of those
alright.
ones where like,
I feel like I never
everybody's
knew
heard
who
it,
did that
but-
song.
Yeah, exactly. Like, let my love open the door.
Let my love open the door.
Let my love open the door
You know
to
who else
your
said that?
heart.
OJ said that same thing
To your farts.
before he killed his wife.
The album is called Empty Glass.
Empty.
I've never listened to this.
All right.
I'm a big Who fan. Never listened to any of his solo material.
All right.
All right. Any closing remarks, gentlemen?
Have sex listening to Kings of Leon.
Don't let your sex get on fire.
Don't
See
date
a
girl-
doctor.
Don't date a girl who goes to Ferris State University.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
All right then.